York Times reported today that the elementary school in Iran that was struck, killing 175 people, was struck by a Tomahawk missile, which only the United States has. Israel doesn't have them, Iran doesn't have them. Plus, the idea that Iran would target their own elementary school, killing little girls, is a laughable claim, to say the least. Nonetheless, Trump made that claim. But putting that aside, Ben Shapiro had some comments about it. I haven't seen this video yet, so I'm sure it'll make my blood boil. Let's take a look.
A lot of Trump's critics today are pointing out this tragic incident with an Iranian school in which 160 girls were killed. That is indeed tragic, and it's terrible. And it's also called collateral damage in war. It is unclear at this point whether the munitions were American or Iranian. We'll find out. Here is the point. Do you really believe that the Trump administration knew there were girls at a school and they decided to hit it with a Tomahawk? Do you really believe that? If you do, you hate not only Trump but America, truly, because that is a scurrilous lie. Iran, by the way, would. If Iran had the ability to launch a cruise missile at an Israeli school filled with schoolgirls, they absolutely would hit it on purpose. They do it constantly.
I think Ben Shapiro hates America because
Definitely.
Ben Shapiro is happy to see American soldiers die on behalf of his precious Israel. I know he likes to use that line against his detractors or anyone who dare criticize Israel. Israel is a terror state. I think that they've proven that to the vast majority of the American people, which is why public opinion toward Israel is in the gutter where it belongs. But to claim that you would hate America for pointing your finger at the United States for dropping a freaking Tomahawk missile on a girls' school, killing 175 people. Oh, God forbid you tell the truth about what's going on. It must mean you hate America. No, the people who keep dragging our soldiers into endless wars on behalf of Israel, they're the ones who hate America. The real question here is, Cenk, if you ask me, why isn't Ben Shapiro living where he actually wants to live? Why is he here in the United States trying to manufacture consent to drag our soldiers into wars that could get them killed on behalf of a foreign country? That's the real freaking question.
Yeah, so Mark Levin, Laura Loomer,
traitors to this
Katie
country.
Miller have all said that I should be deported even though I'm a US citizen. And this was before the Iran war started, and why do they say that? They say, oh, you're a Muslim, hence evil. Well, okay, then you're a bigot. Actually, you don't understand the concept of America at all. In this country, we believe in equality and not supremacy, okay? And so these people are constantly talking about get out of our country, and they use every kind of terrible adjective about Muslim Americans, etc. And so, okay, but really who's loyal to America and who isn't? Because they started the conversation, they're talking about deporting people, denaturalizing people, you're not really Americans. Okay, let's have a conversation about that. We fight for America and only America, and we care about American soldiers, American treasure, and right wing and left wing have different opinions about what is best for America, but we do not have different opinions on this war.
100%.
No one thinks that this is good for America except Israel first.
Look.
So they are asking everyone and getting it from our politicians to betray this country on behalf of the country that they actually love and support, which is Israel. So you want to start talking deportations? I'd be careful if I was you. So, and then they'll catch all sorts of feelings. They'll say, what do you mean? How dare you? Are you saying dual loyalty? Are you saying trope?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm saying dual loyalty. Yes, I'm saying that. In fact, I'm saying even worse. I think that he's far more loyal to Israel than the United States.
I don't think it's close.
No, it's not close. I'll give you an example. Ben Shapiro fancies himself a fiscal conservative, okay? He's always talking about the debt. He's always talking about the solvency or lack of solvency when it comes to our Social Security program. Have you heard him complain even once about the now multiple times the US government, the executive branch, circumvented Congress, went around Congress in order to send tens of billions of dollars to Israel for this war?
Well, that's weird. He's never once mentioned it, Anna.
He wants you to retire later in life because, Social Security, we're spending too much money on it. It's not solvent. When it comes to us going into more debt to fight Israel's wars for them? Never any complaints from Ben Shapiro.
Did Ben Shapiro complain about the $300 billion we've given to Israel?
Never, not once.
Did he complain about the $31 billion we've given to them in the middle of the genocide?
Money well spent, according to Shapiro.
Has he complained about the $1 to $2 billion a day this war is costing us?
Against Iran? Nope, no.
So all of that money, by the way, we don't have. We borrow from China, Japan, and other countries. You and I are gonna have to pay interest on that for the rest of our lives so that Israel doesn't have to. So that Israel doesn't have to borrow the money and they don't have to pay it back and they don't have to pay the interest. Us sucker Americans are forced to pay that on behalf of Israel for the rest of our lives. But Ben Shapiro says, you don't get to retire at 65. Back to the mines.
Right.
Back to the assembly lines, you dirty Americans. And don't you dare question Israel, otherwise we'll have you arrested, deported, and denaturalized. I see who the new fascists are. It's not unclear at all. And this is exactly how a fascist talks. Did you see him talking about this dead school-age girls and boys? He said, now it's called collateral damage.
He's a piece of crap.
Okay. So now if you said, hey, you know what? Hamas, actually a third of the people that they killed were military and the rest, I guess, were collateral damage. He'd be like, how dare you, right? Those are human beings, Israelis, not like useless Americans or useless Palestinians that we just call, or Iranians that we call collateral damage, right? No, it's not collateral damage when Hamas does it, and it's also not collateral damage when Israel does it. I'm gonna say this for the millionth time. Israel has a worse civilian kill ratio than Hamas does.
Yep.
They're bigger terrorists than Hamas. They kill more civilians on purpose as a ratio. And then when you talk about the raw numbers, they've done 70 October 7ths, and it wasn't collateral damage, it was done on purpose. And look at that, they stole 53% of Gaza, and they're not leaving, just like we told you they were going to. And all of this paid for by you and me, by Americans, and then you know what he'll say about your pocketbook? Collateral damage. So listen, brother, the jury's in. No one thinks that you even care about America. We all know you're obsessed with serving beloved homeland Israel, okay? So self-deport, okay? Just move to Tel Aviv and be done with it. You're an utter fraud. No one believes you on the left or the right anymore, or the right. So enjoy the crash of your disgusting website and your network and all, oh no, culture wars. Americans hate each other. Die for us, pay for everything for us, and make sure you hate each other, because that's the culture wars are the only ways we can divide you.
Bingo.
And take advantage of you so that you serve Israel. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.